Hello and welcome in this video. First of all, as always, let me introduce myself for those who don't know me. I am the developer of Absurdus, a simplistic Metroidvania platformer with a wide variety of zones where you have to explore and maybe take notes to find your way around. You can find its itch.io page in the description. Today we are going to talk about a theme that will be of interest to musicians specialized in video games and solo developers: variations in video game music. As you will see in this video, variations have many interests, both productive and artistic, so it's all good for you. You bring a message to your game and save time or money if you pay someone to do it, of course. This is a popularization video, so I will therefore try to use as few technical terms as possible. To begin with, we'll define what music with variations is, using Beethoven's Ninth Variation on the Dressel March as an example. Here's a small sample of the original unvaried music. As you can hear, this music defines a tune, a melody, and a recurring motif, the rhythm, and a certain atmosphere. Now, let's listen to an extract from the first variation. As you can see, the melody is partially reused, while the recurring motif is used just as much as in the original track, in rhythmic terms. The atmosphere, meanwhile, is dropped in the favor of a more melancholy mood. Now, a third example to draw on. Let's listen to an extract from the second variation. As you can see, the melody is not used much this time, although you can feel its effects from time to time, while the recurring motif is used just enough to remind us of the two previous extracts, in rhythmic terms. The atmosphere, meanwhile, is dropped in favor of a more fast mood. I think we have enough extracts to define what a variation is. It is a technique of musical creation that involves modifying one or more parts of a musical motif, while preserving its original structure in a recognizable way. This structure must remain clearly perceptible. In short, you can modify certain elements of the music while retaining a kinship with the original theme. Secondly, we'll see the technical interest in using music with variations in a video game. As you can imagine, the technical interest in using variations in video game music comes from the use of our best friend, copy and paste. In your music software, you can take an extract from a piece you've already produced and reuse it in another context, or with a change of key or pitch. You can change octaves, this makes it much faster. But there's another possibility: create a script that varies the music according to the gameplay. This is called responsive music or adaptive music. It allows the music to react according to the player's input and what's happening in the game. The player will be impressed by the performance, and this will save you the trouble of composing several additional pieces of music. What's more, it allows us to move on to another interest in the use of variations, the artistic one. For this, we'll refer to a famous example: the music of Clock Tower in Zelda Majora's Mask. I don't know if I have the right to use the music, but the idea is that the game is a time loop, and at the end of the loop, the world ends. As you get closer to the end of the loop, the music becomes faster, more stressful, and eventually additional sounds are added to give a disturbing sound. This is a very clever use of musical variations in a video game track. It conveys an artistic message to the player, and the use of variations adds something to the game. It's not for nothing that this example is one of the most frequently used when talking about video game music. It's so clever and well thought out, and fits so well with the narrative masterpiece that is Zelda Majora's Mask, that no one would dream of criticizing any laziness in the design of the game's music. If these variations were removed, the game would be poorer than before. I personally use variations in Absurdus music in order to save time and break repetitiveness in the track. To sum up, using variations music for the audio track of your video game is very probably a good idea. If used properly, it can add something artistically to your game as well as having technical advantages. I hope you enjoyed this video.